Our technology allows you to create, debug, and execute test cases interactively, and then use those same test cases to build suites of test cases and then traffic models with the same test cases. So we're going to illustrate this by going back to our Python IDE, and this time choosing a different technology. We're going to be using a web service test that uses REST API to test web services. So this test case does a patch on a REST resource with an update, and then verifies by calling get on it that that update was in fact made. We can run this test case in the IDE, make sure it passes, and it does pass. And then we can go to the test suite modeler and create a test suite. And this test suite, for the demo purposes, has been pre-created that uses that same test case. And this test case is right here. It's called ITEA Test API Update Product. To create a test suite, there are two other test cases that are also used in this suite. And the way this suite is put together is there is a sequential block. And within that sequential block, our test case that we've just seen runs by itself. And then there is another embedded parallel block that runs two other test cases in parallel. And these test cases are visualized right here. If I were to edit this and replace sequential with parallel, then all of this changes to parallel, and it's visualized right there. So it's a good visual way of seeing what is being done in the test suite. So I'll replace it back with sequential, and the test suite changes again. So we can now run it and see that it passed. So the first one is running sequentially, then these two are running in parallel, and all of them passed. We can see logs from the test case execution right here in this panel. So if I click on this, we will see the log for our update and verification test case. And if I wanted to see the actual data that went back and forth between the test case and the system under test, then I'd be able to see all of that just by clicking on these log lines. So that was the test case that we just saw in the IDE. And then the other two that ran in parallel, the logs are right here and here. So we just saw how we designed a test case in the IDE and then used that same test case in a test suite and then just ran that test suite. We've also created an integration layer with industry standard CI/CD automation servers like Jenkins or GitLab to be able to run ITEA test automation as a part of your DevOps pipeline. To illustrate that, we've created a GitLab pipeline and added our test suite to it. So I'm going to run this pipeline right now. It finished running. So we're going to go to the tests, and we see that it just ran our suite right here.